All right, so let's get you some breaking news that has just come in. We're being told that the Indian and the Chinese forces faced off at the Sino-Indian border in Sikkim. The aggressive confrontation between the troops of the two sides happened near the Naku sector, a pass at a height of more than 5,000 meters. And for more on this, we are joined in by WION's Siddhant Sibil, who is joining us with more information. Siddhant, what more do we know at this point of time?
Well, Mohammed, as of now, the situation remains tense between Indian and the Chinese forces. The standoff continues. It is happening in north of Sikkim, the India-China border, and roughly 150 men are involved in the face-off. There are a few injuries also which are being confirmed on both sides, on the Indian side and the Chinese side. We are waiting for more details by the government here in Delhi, but the authorities and officials here in Delhi have confirmed to WION that this standoff has started, and it has been some days. They haven't given any exact figure of that, and it seems it is really tense right now. And one thing I can tell you, it is after the Doklam crisis of 2017 that this kind of tense situation has arisen between the Indian and the Chinese forces. Both the leaders, the Indian Prime Minister and the Chinese President, had met after the Doklam crisis at the famous Wuhan informal summit. But it seems that spirit, the Wuhan spirit, is fading out. We know that thereafter there have been many situations, but they have been resolved. There were guidance which were given by both the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President of China on the fact that if the tense situation arises, what they should do. But now it seems that as of now the situation remains tense, and despite the direct contact, there have been injuries. The fact that there have been confirmation on the injuries shows that it is quite serious situation which is developing at the India-China border in North Sikkim. And of course, this comes at a time when the world is dealing with the COVID crisis, a crisis which of course originated from China. And there are serious questions being asked from China itself on how it happened, and there have been calls of investigations as well, independent investigations into the entire COVID crisis. So how this current crisis will play out is something that everyone will be keenly watching. But as of now, it looks as if the situation is going to develop further. We do expect more development as the day progresses. It seemed like a quiet Sunday, but it looks now that it will be a heavy Sunday given the fact that this development has taken place.
And also, Siddhant, the fact is in 2017, the Indian and the Chinese troops did come in a very similar kind of a face-off. That was near Doklam. Do we know as to how far away this is? Is it in some ways a similar kind of a crisis that has unfolded here?
Well, exactly. The details are not given. We do expect details to be given us shortly, but it is happening in North Sikkim, and we know that Doklam was the tri-junction of the Sikkim, China, and Bhutan. So this time it's happening on India-China border. But of course, the fact that it has emerged in terms of the current crisis, the COVID crisis happening in the world, and there have been calls by New Delhi for cooperation, shows that this is something which is very tragic in terms of the timing of this crisis, and the fact that there are confirmations when it comes to injuries as well shows that the situation can worsen. We know that there have been instances of helicopters crashing in past 2 days in Sikkim. There is no connection as of now between what has happened, the crash of the two helicopters in Sikkim, and the standoff between India and China. But of course, questions will be raised on the entire situation. But by and large, we are right now waiting on more details by the government here in Delhi. We do expect some Chinese response as well, because the 150 soldiers involved, some injuries as well, is a big development when it comes to India-China relationship. Both countries are trying to have some good relationship in terms of semblance of the relationship after the Doklam crisis. We saw the last year's summit which happened in India, in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. There were good vibes, and of course both the sides presented with a positive picture of India-China bonhomie of camaraderie, but it seems it could gradually fade away if this current crisis is not abated.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Siddhant Sibil, for joining us and getting us all those updates. We'll of course come back to you as more details emerge in this unfolding story.